Our movie starts with Sam living a happy life with his wife, who's about to give birth. His company is growing steadily, and everything in his life seems to be falling into place. But one day, he suddenly gets into an accident and is rushed to the hospital. After some time, Sam wakes up from his coma and finds himself in a hospital room with an old man, while the entire building is eerily silent. Sam is exhausted, so he presses the emergency button, but no nurse shows up. He sits up, removes all the tubes attached to his body, and gets ready to stand. But he's surprised when he notices that the old man who was in the bed next to him has disappeared. Sam gets up to see what's going on, but suddenly the old man attacks him, choking him and pinning him to the bed. Sam manages to fight back, grabs a metal tray, and hits the old man on the head, then runs to the door shouting for help. The old man attacks again, and they both stumble into the hallway, fighting aggressively. Sam grabs a metal rod and hits the old man, knocking him to the floor. Sam also falls, crawling away, but the old man grabs him again. Sam keeps struggling until he reaches a metal piece on the floor, grabs it, turns around, and repeatedly hits the old man until he collapses dead beside him. Sam gets up terrified, runs for help, but no one responds. Suddenly, and in a strange twist, he sees that the old man's body has vanished. Only bloodstains remain. Sam slowly approaches, holding a scalpel, then returns to his room. There he discovers that the old man is back in his bed with the tubes reattached, still alive. Sam is stunned by what he's seeing. He heads to the closet to grab his phone, but there's no signal. He quickly changes his clothes, preparing to escape this bizarre place. While leaving, he's startled when a huge nurse appears in the doorway, blocking his path. She insists he must return to his bed and rest. Sam explains that he was attacked by the old man and points at him, but is shocked to find the bed empty again. When he turns back to the nurse, she's gone without a trace. Sam realizes something is horribly wrong. He heads toward the elevator, but before he reaches it, he hears the old man roaring behind him. When he turns, he sees the old man running toward him in a terrifying way with sparks flying everywhere. Sam panics and presses the elevator button like crazy as the old man gets closer. Sam screams in fear, but thankfully the elevator opens just in time and closes before the old man can get in. Sam breathes in relief, but suddenly the elevator ceiling is smashed from above. The old man's head pushes through the broken panel. Terrified, Sam bolts out of the elevator, falls on the floor, then gets up and runs as fast as he can. Meanwhile, in another part of the hospital, a woman is lying on an operating table, about to undergo surgery. They place the anesthesia mask on her, and as her consciousness starts to fade, she notices the doctor and nurse have no facial features. She passes out, and when she wakes up, she's alone. She tries to get up and leave, but she's tied down, surrounded by several girls in nurse uniforms holding scalpels. She screams loudly. Sam hears her from the hallway and rushes in to save her, holding an 4-pole to defend himself. One of the girls attacks him and stabs him in the stomach, but Sam powers through the pain, knocks her out, and the other two advance toward him. The girl on the table takes the chance, escapes, and runs out of the room. Sam follows her, and uses a metal rod to lock the door from the outside. They run down the hallway until they reach a safer area. The girl's name is Monica. She's relieved to finally meet someone normal. She explains that the last thing she remembers is preparing for surgery. Neither of them knows what's happening in this place, but they both know they need to get out fast. They reach the reception desk and find a landline phone, but it doesn't work. Sam gives Monica a jacket and tells her to wear it. Suddenly, they hear someone screaming for help. Sam gathers his courage and approaches the sound. He finds a man tied to a bed. His name is Carter, and he came to the hospital after accidentally being shot by the police. Sam frees him immediately, and they grab a scalpel to defend themselves. The three head toward the elevator, but suddenly the girls appear again, armed, crawling on the ceiling toward them. Sam knows he can't wait for the elevator, so he tells them to run to the stairs. They enter the stairwell, and Sam stays behind the door to give them a chance to escape. Suddenly, one of the girls smashes through the glass with her bare hands. Sam has no choice but to run. Then, without warning, a dark, evil hand grabs him and pulls him inside. A huge man drags Sam deeper into the darkness and warns him. Never go down to the floor beneath you, or you'll never make it back. As soon as the man finished speaking, his facial features suddenly disappeared, sending a wave of terror through Sam. At that moment, a woman named Lily arrived. She struck the man until he lost consciousness, then rushed to check on Sam, who had fainted after seeing what was lying on the bed. On their way out, they encounter a man sitting in a wheelchair. Lily explains that she needs to take Sam down to the ground floor. Here, we learn that Sam used to be selfish and an alcoholic, and that's the real reason behind his accident. He was texting while driving. But the man in the wheelchair refuses to let her take Sam downstairs, believing Sam is a good person who deserves a second chance. From this, we understand that Sam's real body is still in the hospital, where doctors are trying to revive him, and that everything he is experiencing is nothing more than hallucinations. We also realize that if he reaches the ground floor, he may die forever. Lily agrees to give him another chance. Sam regains consciousness, takes some painkillers next to him and swallows them, then grabs a weapon and leaves the room. Before he can exit, the officer appears and stops him. The officer isn't sure if Sam is actually in the hospital, but he seems angry, holding his gun tightly. Sam explains that he isn't the monster, and that he's trapped in this place just like the others. The officer finally calms down and tells Sam to look out the window. Sam opens the curtains and sees complete darkness outside. The officer tells him that before he entered the hospital, he was at a shop buying cake and coffee. The shop owner noticed a thief wearing a mask and signaled the officer. The officer pulled out his weapon and turned around, only to find two men, one of them named Tartar. Before the officer can finish his story, he suddenly disappears, leaving Sam shocked. Sam sees an empty hallway and hears the voice of the man in the wheelchair. He follows it and finds him. The man introduces himself as Virgil. Sam assumes Virgil is just another normal person like them, and invites him to join the group. Virgil remains calm and suggests they head to the rooftop, hoping to find a phone signal there. Sam agrees and takes Virgil with him. As they head upstairs, they run into Lily. She tells them she is a doctor at the hospital, but something strange happened while she was asleep, and when she woke up, everyone had vanished except for Virgil. They agree to go to the rooftop, but suddenly stop when they see the massive nurse blocking their path. Lily suggests attacking him, but Virgil proposes talking to him first. Sam decides to wait for the nurse and walks toward him, intending to ask how they can escape. Suddenly, a child appears and points to the ceiling. Sam looks up and sees the light flickering and changing colors before it explodes. The child starts running and screaming for help, then disappears. Lily rushes to help Sam. When the nurse sees them, he charges at them, choking Sam and striking Lily, warning Sam not to go near her. At that moment, Virgil arrives and tells the nurse to let Sam go. The nurse immediately releases Sam and runs straight at Virgil, attacking him. Sam falls to the ground and tries to help, but to his shock, both Virgil and the nurse vanish. Only the empty wheelchair remains. Lily pulls Sam into the elevator and warns him not to go up to the rooftop. As soon as she finishes, the nurse appears and drags her out while the elevator doors close on Sam. He hears a loud thud from above and panics, thinking the old man has returned. He rushes out of the elevator and sits at the reception desk. At that moment, Monica arrives and tells him they searched everywhere for an exit but found nothing. Sam refuses to lose hope and walks toward the window, opening the curtains, only to find the darkness outside replaced with a thick, solid wall. Suddenly, they hear the elevator rising. Fear grips them as they prepare for whatever is coming. The elevator doors burst open, and the nurse's severed head rolls out. Lily steps out behind it. Sam runs to her and hugs her, then introduces her to Monica. But there's clearly something strange between them, as if they already know each other. Then the officer arrives and fires at the entrance, but nothing happens. The door stays exactly the same. Carter runs toward them, and the moment the officer sees him, he raises his gun and accuses him of causing the trouble at the shop, which is why he followed him into the hospital in the first place. Carter becomes furious and says the officer was being racist. There were two masked men, but the officer targeted him first, even though the real thief, the white man, was right next to him. Carter accuses the officer of knowing that all along. Sam steps in, trying to calm them and telling them they need to find a way out of the hospital first. But the officer refuses to trust Carter and shoots him, killing him instantly. Chaos erupts. Then Sam turns toward Lily, who works at the hospital. She tells him she'll try to guide him to the exit, but explains that this is her first time inside the hospital, and that she didn't enter through the hallways. She took the staff elevator from the underground parking lot up to the hospital. So the officer decides to go down to the parking level and presses the elevator button. But Sam notices that the nurse's head has disappeared from the floor. Suddenly, the elevator doors slide open, and the officer is pulled inside. At that moment, Monica starts running, and Sam is about to chase after her, but Lily stops him and tries to convince him not to go. He ignores her and goes to Monica, trying to calm her down. Then the three of them head back to the elevator. Sam steps in carefully and confirms that the old man is truly gone. He relaxes a little and presses the button for the basement. When they arrive, Lily says the parking lot should be close by. But Monica walks toward a nearby room, and inside they find a large number of dead bodies. It seems these people couldn't escape the hospital, so they died there. Sam finds a phone and calls the police immediately. This time, the call actually goes through, but it cuts off halfway before he can give them the address. Suddenly, all the corpses in the room come back to life. It turns out they were victims of the store incident and Sam's accident. Before the three of them can understand what's happening, the officer arrives and says he killed the monster that was in the elevator. Then he shows them that the wound on his stomach has completely disappeared. Everything keeps getting stranger, and they all realize they need answers. After that, they head toward the parking lot. The officer threatens them with his gun, then takes the lead. Out of nowhere, Carter bursts out of the emergency exit and attacks the officer. After a fight between them, the officer wins and kills Carter. Suddenly, the officer is dragged into the exit door and disappears. Sam becomes increasingly worried and refuses to go toward the exit Lily pointed out. She gets angry, and a strange claw appears from her body, revealing she is one of the creatures. At that moment, Virgil arrives in his wheelchair. Sam takes advantage of the distraction and runs to Monica, convincing her to go with him. But she gets pulled into the exit, and Sam doesn't risk following her this time. Instead, he decides to go with Virgil to the elevator. But the elevator can't take them to the rooftop, so they have to switch to another one. As they pass by the nursery, they hear a baby crying. Sam enters to check, and sees his wife standing there holding their child. He asks her how to escape this place, and she tells him they need to find a spot with a strong signal. Then the illusion disappears. Sam removes the bandage from his head and discovers there's no wound underneath. He asks Virgil about his true identity and what's really happening in the hospital. Virgil confesses that he and Lily are responsible for guiding new arrivals to their destinations, but their goals are different. One of them wants to save people, while the other wants to lead them to death. And to stay alive, Sam must reach the rooftop. They move on to another elevator, where a little girl appears and blocks the exit. She also wants to escape the hospital. Sam holds her hand and brings her into the elevator, and Virgil joins them. They hear the loud thumping sound again, and suddenly the old man drops down and attacks Sam. Sam pushes him out of the elevator and stabs him with a scalpel. He tells Virgil to take the little girl to the rooftop. As soon as she runs, the old man stabs Sam in the back and throws him to the floor. Sam starts seeing flashes of other patients, and the massive nurse approaches him, grabs his leg, and drags him down the hallway. His wife appears, telling him to fight and not leave her alone. The nurse drags him into a room where he sees his real body lying on the hospital bed as doctors try to revive him with a defibrillator. Each time they shock him in the real world, a light explodes in the other world. Sam begins to lose hope, but Virgil arrives and knocks the nurse down, encouraging Sam to make one last effort. Sam gets up and runs to the stairs. He finds the little girl, terrified to climb. He reassures her and goes up with her. Lily appears and grabs him, telling him that anyone who enters the garage will die. But Sam tells her he's no longer afraid, he understands everything now. He pulls away, continues climbing, and lets the little girl enter first. Suddenly his phone gets a signal again. He sends a message to his wife telling her he loves her. Then he walks through the door, a sign that the doctors have finally managed to revive him. And that's where the movie ends. Thank you for watching.